Morty, give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
Dirty.
Hey yo, Cheno!
Dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Dirty.
Play this record as frequently
Dirty.
as possible.
Oh, dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty. Dirty. Me and my niggas get dirty. When any of these niggas wanna get delirious like Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Hercules.
Ain't showing that kitty no mercy. Fuck the 3 exes, no one neglected. Brother the turkey. Yeah, brother the turkey, Welcome back, Raw Nation, to another installment of Raw View, where we get a better insight of each king and queens behind the scene. I'm your host, ChenoRoyal, baby. I'm here with, what's your name, sir?
My name is A.M.F.J.
A.M.F.J. How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling real good, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, great, man. Like, I just started a couple interviews this morning. It's a different atmosphere than doing it like at night.
Absolutely.
But go ahead, for the fans at home, elaborate on who A.M.F.J actually is.
Man, that's a broad. That answer could go on for hours, man. But man, I'm a rapper. I'm a songwriter. I'm originally a drummer. I started. I've been trying to write music since I could retain thoughts, pretty much. But I got my first drum set when I was like in 7th grade, 99, 2000, something like that. I played drums for a long time. Took drum lessons. I started rapping probably 08. And started trying to write songs, and the rest was kind of history. You know what I mean? So, rapper, songwriter, venturing into singing. I'm a father. I'm a hustler.
All around player out here.
All types of shit, man.
There we go.
I mean?
Okay, I see you. Kind of going on with the drum stuff, man. Like, how far did you take that? Like,
drums?
Yeah.
Far, bro. Far. I took lessons for a few years. You know what I mean? I learned music theory. I took a semester of music theory when I was at IPFW. But yeah, man, I was in and out of bands as a kid, as a teenager. Fucking countless bands. My first time recording was when I was a drummer. I was probably 15, 16, something like that. I recorded at this place in New Haven. We won it at like a battle of the bands thing.
That's dope.
At a bowling alley, and they set us up. They set us up on the lanes to play. You know what I'm saying? So I got my drum set on the lanes and shit, and we won, and we got some recording time. But yeah, I took it far, man. Like, I was in and out of bands like a motherfucker, but I just got kind of tired of I don't really want to throw no shade, man, but
yeah, no.
I just got tired of dealing with people, you know what I mean? And decisions I was making in life and paths that I was choosing, I was starting to relate more to, music that I'd listened to as a kid, you know what I mean? And I started gravitating towards, rap and hip hop more about 04, 05, you know what I mean? And I just kind of decided I was going to start rapping. Just kind of took it from there.
What was your preferred subgenre and just doing drums to actually do? Like, what was your favorite thing?
I got real deep into metal.
Yeah?
Real deep into metal.
Like thrash or anything?
Slipknots and Chimeras and stuff like that. For a good 2 or 3 years, I was deep into shit like that. At first, it was the stuff you hear on the radio and shit like that. But I started getting real. I went to Ozfest for the first time in 2003 when I was 14 or 15, and I was like, this is fucking crazy. And I started getting into metal, but that genre just doesn't evolve. Like, if you listen to a metal song today and you're like, if it could have came out yesterday, but if you told me it came out in 2001, I'd believe you, because it sounds
those are facts.
It sounds
those are
the fucking same,
though.
man. And I kept joining bands, and everybody just wants to do the same thing. They want to write an entire album in one guitar tuning, or you know what I'm saying? Every song is like a BPM or 5 BPMs apart, and it's like, bro, this whole album is 14 tracks of the same song, but it's arranged differently. I just kind of had that epiphany, man, and I had started, getting into some shit when I became 18, 19, And like I started listening to more of the lyrics in hip hop again. When I was about 12 or 13, I discovered like Eminem and Outkast and shit like that. Like I got Stanko. The first rap CDs I ever got were Stankonia and the Marshall Mathers LP. And I was like, this shit's crazy. But then my pops bought me a drum set, and I started getting into all the other stuff.
Right.
Like I said, about 04, 05, man, I started gravitating back towards hip hop and rap, man. And I started, feeling the lyrics a little more, and I could see the evolution in the sound. And people don't look at you crazy when you have innovative ideas in hip hop and rap. And I remember being in a studio session. I wasn't even in the band. I was just doing session drums for him, man. And I had just kind of started thinking about like, man, I might start rapping, and I think I could do this shit, and I think I got some fucking stories to tell, you know what I mean? And I told all the guys in the session, and they just like laughed at me. They're like, you gonna start rapping? They're like, rap is fucking garbage, and this and that, and this and that. And I was like, all right, whatever, man. I just kind of shrugged it off. And in this session, we ended up having to throw the bassist out of the session because he was just a fucking douchebag. And I was like, bro, what if instead of having a bass player, we use 808s? Everybody looked at me like I was fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because you look at that, and now you have like I Prevail and like all these other guys starting to like really dive deep into like combining or fusing like 808s.
Because I think people are starting to realize they have to. I haven't followed the metal scene since like the mid 2000s, so I don't really know what's going on or nothing like that. Like once
it's kind of getting crazy.
Once I decided I was done with it, I was done, man.
Right.
Like I was all in on fucking.
Because like when I first heard like it kind of starting like the actual rap and hip hop was like with Limp Bizkit and all that stuff.
I listened to Limp Bizkit when I was in like middle school and shit.
Hot dog flavored water.
Fred Durst ain't got no bars though, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I remember being a kid like, oh, this is so cool, you know what I mean? And then then like I said, the first hip hop albums I ever heard was like Stankonia and the Slim Shady LP and shit. And I was like, damn, Fred Durst ain't got no bars.
Because I remember Eminem coming for him.
Yeah, on that fucking bonus track on the D12 album. Yeah. Slaughtered him.
Killed him.
Yeah, man, I got really deep into the drums, man. It was real deep. But I just got to a point, and I played drums on my first album, Learn to Love Me, that I dropped in 2015. Man, I played drums on that, on the opening track and shit.
Nice.
I played drums for a couple people around the city, but I don't really play too much no more. I don't own a set no more, nothing like that. Just I'm really into songwriting, and I love the art of rapping, like just the art of the 16. And
most definitely.
I think that shit is the dopest shit ever.
Would you say that since you started with Outkast and like Eminem, that they're still pushing you today?
Oh yeah, Andre 3 Stacks and Eminem are two of my favorite rappers. Eminem was my favorite rapper for the longest, but after Kendrick dropped fucking 4 classics in a row, I was like, bro, like this dude, and he's like, it's the new evolved fucking version of, I don't know, man. I feel like he's the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's my favorite now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I still listen to Outkast. I don't listen to a lot of, with Eminem's, his recent stuff is all right. I don't bump it on the regular. But in like with like the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem show and stuff, I don't really listen to it too much anymore, just because I've listened to it so fucking much. You know what I mean? But I go back to it every once in a while, but yeah, I still listen to Outkast and Eminem, and they're still in my top 10 and shit.
I think I still agree, like how, in my opinion, Eminem will be classified as. I don't naturally just say that there's one GOAT. Like, I feel like it's a group of GOATs. So there's like levels.
It's too subjective.
Yeah. Because there's just levels to it. So it's either like you're on the up and coming, and then there's a level of like, yeah, they're all right. And then there's that peak, that the GOAT status, like you reach it at a certain point.
I feel like there's like God tier rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers that just,
you change the game.
Yeah,
like you just have to be like.
And as far as who your favorite is, it's just too subjective. I always felt like I don't like the whole sports analogy with rap, unless you're battle rapping, I guess. But like, there's no stats to making music. Yeah, you can do album sales and stuff, but if we start factoring in album sales too much, you gotta start factoring in motherfuckers that have no business being in a being in the top 10 of MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I feel like there's no stats that determine who's the greatest of all time, like you can with basketball or foot, or there's no championships. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've never really liked that analogy, but I think there's definitely tiers, and you can always tell who's on a certain tier. You know what I mean?
And like what you said, it's like too many things are like just so subjective. Like just because
music in general,
it just comes with what hits you.
Absolutely.
And just like with my style, like I love boom bap, but I play into the very conscious stuff. I like to like actually hear a story, which is how I feel like rap actually is, and just music in general is just storytelling.
Facts.
And so I go back to like what you said, Kendrick, J. Cole.
I love J. Cole.
Like just stuff that you can't ignore. People, like I love hearing people be like, "Oh, this stuff is corny," or like blah blah blah. It's like, well, then you're not listening, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's become a fad to hate on things that are too intelligent, I guess. Like everybody wants everything to be watered down and on some ignorant shit, it seems like. But I feel like there's definitely a lane. I mean, Kendrick goes platinum when he drops. You know what I mean? Like he wins Grammys and shit.
I'm just saying, when you go through, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
but like when you, it's funny because it's just like, you're at that God level of like rap when you don't have to do anything all year. And then people at a certain point,
if there's a rumor,
it's like a dose. You know? It's just like getting a dose of somebody.
Shit, Drake just did it last night.
Yeah, yeah. And then people just be like, "Oh man, I haven't heard him in a while. When they gonna drop?" And then like they'll hint. They won't even tell you a date. Yeah. They'll hint.
And motherfuckers
like it'll be a picture of them in the studio.
Yeah, and motherfuckers go crazy.
They're like, "Oh shit!"
That's when you know. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. I completely agree.
But man, I definitely appreciate you being on the show, and like definitely great meeting you.
Yeah,
like,
man, you too, bro.
Been a long time coming.
I'm glad we could fucking make this shit happen. Took a few times, but we got it. We got it.
I know. Finally got out of bed. Like I get it.
Absolutely.
You know. But before we get on out of here, I only got one more question for you. Where do you see all this stuff going for A.M.F.J? Like a year, 5 years, man, it could be tomorrow. What's the ultimate end game for A.M.F.J?
Ultimate end game is have a good life for my family and be able to provide the type of life that I want to provide, and on some personal shit, to just be able to wake up and go write songs like it's a job. Because at the end of the day, man, it's I started this entire journey because I fucking love music. I love writing music and listening to music. You know, I just want to be able to wake up and go do that shit every fucking day, whenever I fucking feel like it. You know what I'm saying? And drop and, get people to vibe with me and just to get anybody to catch a vibe on anything. You know what I'm saying? Is the end goal. So, yeah, I'm trying to get some fucking money too. You know what I'm saying? But I just love writing music, man. I love music, period. So I just want to be able to provide for my family, be well off, not be under the thumb of the motherfuckers that put their thumb on motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And just be able to write music every day, man, because I love writing music.
There you go. Well, go ahead and shout out any place that we can find you, and especially anything coming up here soon.
Well, I dropped an album last summer called Anti-Hero. And then I dropped an album in 2015 called Learn to Love Me. I'm everywhere you listen to music. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, everywhere. I dropped a song. My label SMG has been doing this thing called The Wednesday Work. I dropped a song. I've dropped a couple songs on that on the Successful Music YouTube channel. Check those out. Yeah, everywhere you listen to music.
There we go. Mr. A.M.F.J, I appreciate you being on the show, my guy. You stay on your grind, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.